recently I was looking around our yard and thinking about different plants that needed to be moved or spaces that needed to be filled in. Clearly, this little guy did not like where he was, so he needed to be moved. And I got all these plants. I was so excited. I went to my sister's recently, and every time I go in her backyard, it's shaded so moss grows, and it's beautiful. And I go back there and I roll up sheets of moss and bring it home. My brother-in-law just loves my yard work. He can tell when I've been there. And I bring home all this beautiful moss. I love it. And I put it around my plants. And then a friend called and said, hey, I have some bushes. I know you had mentioned you were looking for some bushes. Do you want them? Yes, I would love them. So I brought home these Lenten roses and this tree, and I've only had it for 24 hours and it's already wilting. And don't worry, Tony, as soon as I'm done with this video, I am going to go put it in a pot like you told me to and water it. And I have this other bush. But when I brought it all home, so all these plants are dug up, and I brought it home and I thought, well, now what do I do with it? I don't really know where to put these. And I'm kind of afraid that I'm gonna plant them in the wrong place. So here's the spiritual tie-in. For the month of September, I've spent the whole month in the book of Romans. I've just been reading it, listening to it. It's amazing the things that you pick up when you're listening to the word versus reading it. You pick up different things. And this is a practice, staying in a certain passage for a month is a practice that one of the elders in our church, Phil, suggested I do several years ago. There was a certain passage and he said, Jennifer, I'd like to encourage you to read this passage every day for a month. And my first thought was, that sounds so boring. But one of the elders was asking me to do it, so I did it, and it was amazing. I got so much out of it. It's unbelievable how much more you can get out of something, even though you've read it 25 times already, and you're reading it again, and there's more you can get out of it. So I've been spending September in Romans. And some things have been dug out of my heart. And kind of like these plants, I'm sitting here going, where do I put it? What do I do with it? Clearly it needs to be moved, but what do I do with it? And my grandmother had a favorite passage, and I wanted to share that with you. And I thought, this is good. This is a good start for where we need to begin when we see things in our character, or we're digging things out of our heart or our thinking, and we wonder, what do I do with this? It's in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. And it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. What that tells me is if I keep submitting to God and submitting my ways to his ways, he's going to bring the clarity I need in various situations. And he's going to show me what to do with the different things that I've discovered. It's not like he didn't know they were there. He already knew they were there. And another thing, last night we had friends of ours over for dinner, a couple, and we're in a one another relationship with them. We help each other in marriage and life with our adult daughters. We encourage each other, we spur each other on. And they came over for dinner last night, and I shared with them the things that I've been learning, the things that I've seen in my heart. And it was really good to share that with people who know me. And obviously Rodney was there, so my husband knows me better than sometimes I feel like myself. It was really good to share that with them so that I could gain their perspective as well, and so they could look out for me, and maybe they'll be thinking about it, praying about it, and have some insights that will help me as well. In Acts chapter 2, verse 42, it talks about the fellowship of the believers in the first century. And it says, they devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching, to the fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to prayer. Everyone was filled with awe, and many wonders and miraculous signs were done by the apostles. All the believers were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. Every day, they continued to meet together in the temple courts. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts, praising God and enjoying the favor of all the people. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. And last night was such a rich opportunity for us to break bread together in our home with glad and sincere hearts. We praised God together. We enjoyed the favor of each other. We spent time praying together. It was fantastic. And I know maybe not everybody who's listening to this is ready to have people in your home. We're all on different spectrums in that area, and that's fine. But we can invite people in, whether it's inviting them into our home physically or inviting them into our heart and into our lives. We do want to have that spirit of Acts chapter 2 and share the things that we're learning and the things that God's revealing in our hearts with others. I hope this helps. Oh, and what are those things I've been digging up out of my heart? I'll share that in the next video. Have a great week. All right, we're gonna see if I can do this even with the lawn people in the background. Hopefully you can still hear me. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to when these people come. There seems to be